With a pale face, Ludovic looked at his 14-year-old wife. He heard the encouraging phrases and dirty jokes spoken by the witnesses of their wedding night, but he could not overcome himself and get closer to Anna. Initially, Ludovic really liked Anna. She was lovely, with thick wavy hair, green eyes, milky white skin. She was short and fragile, like a beauty from Flemish canvases, not at all like a Spaniard. Louis hoped that their marriage, concluded for political reasons, would be happier and more successful than the marriage of his parents, but the fateful wedding night ruined everything. Infanta Anna Maria Mauritia was born on September 22, 1601, and Louis XIII was born just a few days later, on September 27, 1601. Since childhood, Louis believed that his future bride was growing up in Spain. The French court often joked about this topic. Loving Henry teased his son, suggesting that he would have to become a Spanish infante. But in fact, Henry IV considered the Habsburgs enemies and did not consider the possibility of Anna's marriage with the heir to the throne. However, after the death of Henry IV, his wife Maria de' Medici, who showed favor to Spain, decided on a double Franco-Spanish alliance. The Queen Mother proposed to Louis XIII to marry the Infanta Anna, while their daughter Elizabeth was to marry the Prince of Asturias. Louis was used to the fact that his mothers cared about his future, so he agreed without resistance when she asked if he objected to marrying Anne of Austria. The young king felt excitement ahead of the meeting with the bride and before the official acquaintance was to take place. He even ran towards Anna to meet her earlier. Knowing that the Infanta was to arrive in Bordeaux, Louis went the day before to a small town through which the Spaniards were passing. He was lucky, and he had the opportunity to carefully examine Anna when she appeared in the carriage window. Having seen her, Louis went to Bordeaux satisfied. Soon Anna also arrived. When the young people were introduced to each other, they showed satisfaction. Both were young and attractive, and they had all the prerequisites for love, but fate decreed otherwise. On November 21, 1615, the long-awaited wedding day came. 14-year-old Louis and Anna pronounced their vows before the altar, uniting their destinies. After the wedding ceremony, they went to the palace, and, having reached it, went to their rooms. Louis hardly slept that day, as he was full of impressions and felt very tired. He lay down on the bed, hoping to get a good night's sleep before morning. However, fate decreed otherwise. Suddenly Marie de' Medici, Louis' mother, entered the room and reminded him of the upcoming duty. "My son, your wife is waiting for you. This is your wedding night." Ludovic, always inclined to decency and far from obscene thoughts, felt his face turn red. He got out of bed with reluctance and, accompanied by his mother, headed towards Anna's bedroom. A lot of cheerful courtiers gathered in the corridors of the palace, who saw fit to shout out love wishes to the king. These cries confused the king even more, causing even more anxiety in his soul. What was happening seemed to him humiliating and undermining his dignity. Entering Anna's room, Marie de' Medici easily prompted her son to approach his young wife. Under the muffled laughter of others, she gave them some practical advice about the upcoming night. After that, having caused the disappointment of the audience, she expelled everyone from the room, leaving the young couple alone with only some witnesses. In front of these witnesses, the couple had to carry out an act of love so that the marriage would be legally legal and would not then be at risk of disintegration. The next morning, Maria de' Medici was presented with a report in which it was recorded that her son had performed his marital duties twice. However, what really happened between Anna and Louis remained a mystery. However, one thing was clear. Last night was shocking for Louis, and for several years he lost interest in this area of life.